a wonderful place existed.
The Athenians called it the Acropolis. Free expression, ethics, art, philosophy. The Acropolis heralded the democracy. But if I told you the Acropolis has returned. Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.
The compromise of safe, legal, and rare is over, and it was over a long time ago. My name is Trevor Brown, and you're watching The Trevor Report. This segment of the Trevor Report is sponsored by NordVPN. Click the affiliate link down below in the description in order to experience all of NordVPN's wide-ranging offers that help protect you and your internet privacy at an affordable price. You know, when I recorded this Trevor Report and I talked about the censorship commission in the United States from our betters, as it were, I didn't know why I was so angry when I was going into the segment. Now, I think I went over the censorship commission in I went over it in segment 5, okay, which, you know, putting the thing in the video, that what the video's about at the end of the video, you know, I don't like to do that, but, you know, that's just sort of how everything ended up lining up. But anyway, nevertheless, I didn't know why I was so upset, why I was so mad. Now, is it uncharacteristic of me to be mad at authoritarianism? No, not really, you know, but you take that for what you will. But what struck me when I rewatched it, because sometimes I rewatch my Trevor Reports if I feel something is off. Why was I so upset? And well, I think the reason I was so upset is because of this fascinating video of SBU arresting Russian sympathizers. Now it has the SS in the middle because this is from a deleted post in a subreddit, and I couldn't find the original one, but there's this group that posts. I don't know anything about this group that does it, but it seems to like clone all of the. It seems to, for whatever reason, clone parts of Reddit that are very how do you say, active in certain political sense and non-political sense, and so, you know, whatever. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So there's this guy. Why is it not playing? Okay, I reviewed this before. I don't know why it's playing, and I have no idea why I'm having difficulties right now. But essentially, the guy from the video was... Oh, there we go. Now let's take a look. I don't record desktop audio on these Trevor Reports because, well, it's a long story. It ruins the quality of the Trevor Report. So yeah, so you could see a bunch of people, presumably Ukrainians, in Ukraine, being rather distraught about being arrested. This guy has a shirt with the Ukrainian flag colors. Here's a woman upset. Here's man being arrested, but it's saying nearly 400 people have been arrested by this law. But what is the law? Well, this law being, well, granted martial law, but it's for censorship. And then you could see him, you could see the Gestapo, if you were giving a I don't want to say interrogation, because they've already presumed his guilt long before they've actually made any decisions, but they're saying he's supporting Russia because he posts memes on the internet, because he posted a few internet jokes. He posted some memes on the internet, and that's a no-no to the Russian government. And they're like, oh, do you support Putin? Are you supporting the Russian army? Not asking if you're a part of the Russian army or anything. You're not speaking very nicely about the Ukrainian flag, are you? You're not speaking very nicely about the Soviet flag, are you? You're not speaking very nicely about the insert flag, are you? Now, don't get me wrong. Ukraine is in the middle of an active war zone. Okay? Don't get me wrong. But just because someone posts jokes on the internet doesn't mean what you think it means. But long story short, this right here is the perfect example of why, a commission heralded by a bunch of evil people, or even moral people, don't get me wrong, saying that they can determine what is and is not true from a government edict, essentially, and then use that to crack down on everyone. Like, everyone. So, I don't know what to say to that. Well, actually, I do know what to say to that. This right here, what you see in this video, this is why Americans, like myself, get to say we are the freest country in the world, because we don't do this, or at least we used to not do things like this. And so, like, the question I have for the people watching this is, does the U.S. have any right to say that we don't engage in censorship in the United States? Do we in the United States have any right to say that we are not in danger of the Disinformation Board of Trustees, the Orwellian Censorship Commission, not doing this? Now, don't get me wrong, they're in a state of martial law, but it's not like Ukraine was a particularly free place before this, okay? And by the way, all of these former satellite states, all of these former satellite states of the USSR, right? And even Russia, for that matter, in its current state, they're not particularly free places. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not complete hellholes like they were when they were, the Soviet Union, and to be fair, Ukraine is slightly less authoritarian than Russia, but can we in the United States honestly say we are not in danger of this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Before this, yeah, I would have said so. I would have said yes, we are not in danger of this happening. But now I'm like, well, now we're probably in danger of this happening. And take all of that with what you will. Let's continue. How the right-wing extremists weaponize the idea of motherhood. Women play a more significant role in far-right extremist movements than is often acknowledged. Really? Oh man, there's no way. There's absolutely no way whatsoever. Here's the thing. Far-right extremism. So, womanhood plays a role in monarchies. Wow. Wow, MSNBC. Very, very good. Much journalism. A new report on the January 6th Capitol attack, published this month by researchers at George Washington University, detailed the role that women have played in American far-right extremism. Women play a role in literally every society. This is in every. Women play a role in society. Whatever. We'll get into. The 102 women who had been arrested in connection with the attack as of mid-March represented 13% of 6 federal cases, the report found. Some faced felony charges and others faced misdemeanors. You mean the vast majority of them being misdemeanors? Like, come on, dude. Who wrote Cynthia? Well, whatever. You know, that's actually a very Californian thing to say, to say dude and mean basically everyone, right? And then the leftists from California like to dunk on me somehow, and then say, hey, did you just use dude to refer to an entire group of people? It's like, yes, you know. And then they're like, did you just assume my gender? Yes, you know. But it's just sort of one of those. Look, let's just get back to the article. Let's see. January 6th is consistent with what experts have argued for years, namely that women play a more significant role in far-right extremist movements than is often acknowledged. I'm sorry. Yes. Like the kids. I'm not going to use the word conservative because conservative means monarchy, okay? And no one in the United States is pro-monarchy, okay? But I suppose some are, but no one that this article is referring to, you know? But, like, women, yes, the people on the faction of the United States that people call the right is not interested in abolishing women. Yes. Extremist scenes and movements recruit and engage women for a variety of reasons. Women are useful as a way of softening or rebranding the face of violent or supremacist movements in ways that can recruit men and other women. So you mean, what's supremacist group? What's supremacist group? This article is essentially saying that when radical feminists end up siding with what people call the right, okay, because for whatever reason, what the people in the faction we call the left is in, okay, they're in the business of abolishing women for whatever reason, okay? And look, here's the thing. This article doesn't mean anything. And it goes on for a while. Some women have been drawn into QAnon through relatively banal entry points like wellness blogs and yoga studios, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. So when the government and the corporate press were predictably lying to them in order to secure corporate interests, the average person went to other sources in order to gather more information, and then when those people gathered more information, some of them discovered other ideas on the internet. Wow, bravo. Oh my god. QAnon moms, for example, have helped fuel women's engagement in conspiracy-fueled violence, including allegations of kidnapping or plots to kidnap. You mean like the Whitmer plot that was where 12 of the people plotting the attack were FBI agents, where all of the material that was provided to the kidnapper plot that was definitely heralded by the three crazy people. Okay. And basically, look, I've covered this. All previous Trevor reports linked down below in the description. Right, the Whitmer plot had so many FBI agents that the judge was basically like, so if there's FBI agents, basically the judge said it was entrapment. So it was entrapment, and even if the judge didn't say it was entrapment, it was still entrapment. So whatever, like, it would still be how people use the term entrapment from a moral perspective. It would still be entrapment regardless of what the judge says. Now the judge just happened to agree with the moral stuff of it, because at the end of the day, the point of laws is to reflect a certain base of morality, right? That's kind of the point of laws. You have a murder law because murder is wrong, right? You secure people's rights because securing people's rights is a good thing. It is an ethical thing. It is a moral thing, etc., etc., etc. Right? And now we're going to get into this. Now, some, I don't want to say women, I'm going to say feminists, because there are some feminists that are really, really upset, and we'll get into it, about protecting a woman's right to murder a baby. Now, I've covered abortion in previous Trevor reports, not this specific thing, but let me just give my stance on abortion really, really quick. Right? I agree with the 90 safe, legal, and rare consensus. I acknowledge that there are some problems of safe, legal, and rare. For instance, if it can't, abortion, sort of base how it works, cannot be rare. Now, it could be rare from a moral perspective, but it isn't rare the way gold, or what, as it were, is a rare precious metal, right? There's no supply cap on abortion. Women get pregnant, and as long as more women are born, you could, a woman can essentially give birth to as many women. There will always be women. They will always give birth, and they will be male or female, right? And when those men or women are grown up, they'll choose whatever they want to do for, like, their career or whatever. Some of them will be doctors, and among some of those doctors, some of them will go on to work for abortion clinics, right? That system does not produce a rarity for abortion. Now, abortion can be rare if there are legal limits to abortion. That is a way of assuring that it is rare. Okay? And, well, safe, trained doctors perform the abortion, right? But here's the thing. Okay, as I've gotten older and I've thought about the abortion issue, I've noticed that there are some problems, some ethical problems with abortion, right? And I've gone over the heartbeat bills. The Texas bill was 15 weeks, and there are other bills in other states since then that limit abortion to 6 weeks. Now, 15 weeks is a long time. 6 weeks seems like a perfectly fair amount of time. Okay. It's enough time to get your affairs in order, and then tell people what you're going to do, and then do the thing that you set out to do, right? Now, there's also the Plan B pill, the morning after pill. You could also wear a condom, if you're a guy. All of these, there's all these other methods of birth control. Like, honestly, even abstinence, that don't have all of these moral and ethical questions that abortion does. There are other things. But here's the thing. there's another thing that's come out, and it's, I don't know what else to describe it other than pro-abortion. There are pro-abortion advocates, okay? But here's the thing. This was leaked, and this was leaked at 9:20 p.m. EDD time. Now, that's, for a Californian, me, that's about, yeah, that's 6:20, right? We'll get into that time in a second. Now, as of the time I'm recording this, okay, let me just get into this real quick. Before I get into this, if you see this in the show notes, this appears before this. My mistake, whatever. Let's continue. This video was, now as of the time I'm recording this, this video was not only taken, but distributed to MSN News, Microsoft News, 17 hours ago, right? And given to Bloomberg. Now, as of the time I'm recording this, that would be about 6:20 EDD time. How did they mobilize all these people? How did they mobilize all these signs? It just came out. It just came out. How did you mobilize so quickly? How? How did you mobilize so quickly? Well, you mobilized so quickly because there was a leak. And as Justice Roberts puts it, very mildly, mind you, an egregious leak of the abortion draft. Here's the thing. It's a draft. It's a first draft. Now, this first draft is 98 pages, so I doubt it. I doubt it, okay? In the High Court's public comments since the draft was published late Tuesday, Roberts said, although the document described in yesterday's reports is authentic, it does not represent a decision by the court or the final decision of any member on the issue's case. Now here's the thing. Okay, it was leaked, and there are a bunch of theories as to why it was leaked. Okay, that doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter who leaked it. Although there's two theories that are more likely than the other. Two main theories that are coming out. One theory is that a Republican, it's just representing a faction, a Republican leaked it to delegitimize an institution. And there's another theory that says that a left-winger or a Democrat leaked it in order to delegitimize an institution. Now, I ask you, which one is more likely, right? Which one is more likely to happen? Regardless, the Supreme Court has been severely delegitimized, okay? And that's really all the court has. All the Supreme Court has is a meta-ethical sense of legitimacy, okay? That's very delicate. Okay, the Supreme Court does not have men with guns to enforce their decisions. Now, they have put the FBI, or they have put up, I think, the FBI in charge of investigating. So, yeah. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter who leaked it. All of those theories, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Get them out of your mind, okay? Out of your head, okay? Doesn't matter, okay? What does matter is that what the conservatives are trying to preserve is the safe, legal, and rare consensus, okay? What the conservatives are trying to do, right? Again, it's not really possible for there to be conservatives in the United States because conservatism means pro-monarchy, and the United States is the United States being a republic, by definition, cannot be a monarchical project, but whatever, fine, okay? The Republicans and the conservatives and the libertarians, they're trying to preserve, and the classical liberals, they're trying to preserve the safe, legal, and rare consensus. The left wants abortion in all times and all places. Well, not all places, but they want it legal and encouraged everywhere. Okay? And there are some videos circulating about, and if you're on the left, okay, speaking to a faction in the United States. You're not helping your case when you refer to carrying a baby to term as unpaid labor. Okay? I expel thousands of calories a day, but by breathing. By breathing, I expel thousands of calories. I'm getting unpaid labor for engaging in this biological act. Okay? There are some things that are a part of being alive, and there are some things that are a part of reality, okay, that you just do. That you just do. Okay? Just condoms, Plan B pill, and the what is it? And the morning after pill. All right? Less ethical questions. But here's the thing. The Democrats, the leftists, what people just call, broadly speaking, the left, right? Back to their view. They're saying, and I cannot believe this. No, abortion is legal, and you must have it legal in your sovereign state. Okay? The left has gone very, very imperial when it comes to the question of abortion. What people call the right is basically saying you can have abortion in your state. We don't want it in our state. We don't want the moral and ethical responsibility or culpability that comes with abortion. If your state wants to have that, that's fine. You know, that preserves the safe, legal, and rare consensus. And who's to say none of these states? There are a lot of trigger laws that will come into effect if Roe v. Wade is abolished. But what's to stop Texas from keeping the 15-week abortion bill? Nothing that stops Texas. Well, what's going to stop Texas is they're just probably going to outlaw abortion if Roe v. Wade is over and done with. But yeah, it's look, the consensus for half the country is gone, and if half the country isn't agreeing to the consensus, then there's no consensus. So if there's no consensus, why should only half the country be forced to adhere to an agreement? Like, if you're gonna leave the agreement, we may as well leave the agreement as well. And that's what's happening, and that's what's been happening my entire lifetime. But anyway, let's continue with this. Okay, all previous reports linked down below in the description. I've covered what James O'Keefe talks about in this Getter post, but let's go over it. For a year, a cowardly federal prosecutor in New York named Robert Sullivan secretly stole my emails, spied on my media company, and appears to have lied to federal judges to obtain secret, covert spying orders. He then appears to have lied again to federal judges to get a search warrant to invade my home and seize my First Amendment protected reporters' notes and source information. Josh Gerstein at Politico Today received a stolen copy of a draft opinion overturning Roe v. Wade and published it. And yet he sleeps well in his own bed tonight with no fear of being rousted at 6 a.m. by short, loud, thuggish FBI agents, as I was, and handcuffed. It is right that he not fear persecution. He is wrong that we must. It is wrong that we must. Welcome to America in 2022. Great point. And here's the thing. If one side has to adhere to journalistic ethics, while the other one does not, do we have a sense of journalistic ethics in the country? No. No, we don't. Where's Politico? Okay? Where is Politico with secret cameras, right? Talking to, okay, where's Politico's platoon of whores on Tinder to determine where's Politico's platoon of whores to get dates with the likes of Jeff Zucker and such with and like very high up leadership in the FDA and Pfizer, I believe as well, with hidden cameras going on dates with them, and they spill their guts out with a few beers down. That's a nice touch on their part. Where's Politico, right? With a few hidden giving a hidden camera to a source, okay, and then publishing the conversations that they have, conversations that pertain to corruption. Where is it? Where is it? Do people in the modern era, right? Do they go to Politico to engage in whistleblowing? No. They go to Project Veritas. Politico is a quasi-partisan, all right? A quasi-partisan distribution platform of information. Acropolis News Network is the same way, though I don't pretend the way other institutions do. And at the end of the day, we have our non-partisan journalism that we do. Now it's journalism in a very thin sense in Acropolis News' case. It's not my fault. Don't really have a lot of capital right now, but James O'Keefe over at Project Veritas is a very thick layer of journalism, whereas Politico has all the capital in the world, but they have a thin layer of journalism the way we do. Why is that? Why? I don't know. Just some questions. I think it might be worthwhile for you to ask yourself. Anyway, let's continue. This I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. Senate Democrats are planning to investigate. Our Senate Democrats are planning to investigate Elon Musk because they have some questions. I was told that Twitter is a private company and which means they get to do what they want. I don't think Twitter is a private company gets to do what it wants because, to be honest, there's a lot of things you could say about these social media platforms, like especially the Silicon Valley Authority platforms. Privacy is not one of them. It's just not. It's just not one of them. But anyway, look, I rest my case. There are too many people that use social media in too many places all across the world for it to not be subject to some kind of First Amendment protections. Right? Or at the very least, right, they should stop taking editorial stances violating Section 230, right? Well, Elon Musk owning Twitter is going to make it a more First Amendment friendly place. And if it's a more First Amendment friendly place, well, Senate Democrats have some big questions. But here's the thing. Why not care more about this? Breaking. Source inside the federal government reveals suspected and known terrorists walk freely in the United States following Biden administration pullout in Afghanistan. The records obtained by Project Veritas confirmed numerous suspected terrorists are currently living throughout the country, many of whom have work visas despite being flagged by the terrorist watch list for violent offenses like murder and using explosive devices and arms. Project Veritas published redacted government records of suspected terrorists who fall under the Tier 1 level threat, which is labeled as armed and dangerous. Most of these individuals, flagged by the Department of Homeland Security, were admitted because of an initiative to shelter fleeing refugees called Operation Allies Welcome. The whistleblower inside the federal government has identified numerous cases. The suspected terrorists verified by Project Veritas appear to only be a small sample size. These threats, though, the country, including the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Project Veritas also published a never-before-seen video of the current Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, U.R. Jadot, touting their efforts to expedite the adjudication process of Afghanistan refugees. USCIS is a division within the Department of Homeland Security, and they go through the video. I suspect there's going to be more to this, so I'm going to wait for the more to this to come, and then I'm going to cover it far more extensively on breakdowns from the Acropolis. But I'm approaching a 40-minute time limit that I've sort of set for the Trevor Report, so I'm just going to end it here. In the meantime, my name is This Just Trevor, and you've just watched the Trevor Report. Do click the link tree. Sorry, my name is Trevor Brown, and you've watched the Trevor Report. Do click the link tree that I was forced to make myself because Linktree banned my link tree for opposing black nationalism. Long story, down below in the description.
This video is sponsored by Acropolis News Network, the world's first fully independent media organization that is powered by Liberty platforms, peer-to-peer advertising, and cryptocurrency. On Acropolis News Network, we have a different standard of journalism. We allow anonymous reporting like Project Veritas. We also have a few anonymous reporters. Not going to say how many of them there are, and I'm not going to say who they are because they're, anonymous. But more importantly, if you subscribe to a membership subscription onto Acropolis News Network, not only will you get access to a ton of premium content that'll be coming out very soon, and a bunch of premium content that's already available on the site right now, you will also help fund our fully independent journalism and our academic contributions to society. If you do so, I would greatly appreciate it. You can also click the donate button over on any of the Acropolis News posts. I, as the chief editor, would greatly appreciate it because, well, it helps us stay independent, like I said, and that's part of our brand. And if you would like that to stay as a part of our brand, well, I would greatly appreciate it.
Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.
All of you brilliant viewers out there, my name is Trevor Brown. I am the editor-in-chief of Acropolis News Network because I can give myself whatever name and title I want because I own it. You could go to theacropolisnews.com, or you could go to This Just Trevor on whatever Liberty platform is your choice. Except for the ones I'm not on because I haven't seen them pretty much.
Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.